another massive race day here today. The Mount Desert Race Club has got a big meeting to mark the Southern Derby Day events in Melbourne, and the meeting today is a Derby Day theme, and it's being run by the Gold Coast Surf Club for the Mount Desert Race Club at the Aquis Park track, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as the program progresses. But in the meantime, we've had the usual contribution from our helpers, Wayne Gannon, bookmaker Wayne Gannon, also committee man of the Mount Desert Race Club, and local trainer Shane Galinsky have drawn attention to a few runners, all of them in Melbourne, I might add, that they thought might perform reasonably well today. Wayne started his day off in Melbourne with race 3, number 3, Lanciado, race 3, number 3. He then went to race 6, number 15, Anti-Right, race 6, number 15, and continued then with race 8, number 7, Mr. Seawolf, race 8, number 7, all in Melbourne. And in the last race, race 9 in Melbourne, Wayne liked number 4, I Am Excited. That was Wayne's contribution to the meeting this afternoon, the big Derby Day meeting. And last week I might mention Wayne only managed 1 second place getter, whereas Shane Galinsky, our local trainer, he was running hot last week. He only had 3 selections and he had a 9-1 winner among those 3 selections. So Shane is back for more again today, and he stayed in Melbourne as well for the 4th race. The Melbourne, one of the big races in Melbourne today is the Lexus Handicap. It was known as a Hotham Handicap for about 90 years, but with these days of sponsorship and naming rights, it's now known as the Lexus. Why they can't call it the Lexus Hotham Handicap, I don't know, but it would have been a nice way to preserve history. But that race 4 in Melbourne today, Shane liked a Prince of Iran, number 2, a Prince of Iran. In race 6, he liked number 8, Bring Me Roses. Race 6, number 8 in Melbourne, Bring Me Roses. And in race 8 in Melbourne, Shane liked number 12, Fastnet Tempest. Shane has a great liking for the progeny of the sire, Fastnet Rock, and he liked in race 8, number 12, Fastnet Tempest. And he finished his day again in race 9, as did Wayne, but Shane went for number 7, From Within. Race 9, number 7, From Within, was Shane's last contribution there for the Melbourne meeting today. Today, of course, is one of the biggest race days on the Australian racing calendar. It's a meeting I always prefer to the Melbourne Cup meeting. 9 races in Melbourne today, and they are all black-type group races, the sort of races that owners and trainers aspire to win for the purposes of ongoing involvement with the breeding industry. If their horses can win one of these races today, they've got it made in terms of a future stud career. The prize money in these meetings now is quite incredible. There's one $2 million race in Melbourne today. There's 2 $1 million races. There's one $500,000 race, 3 $300,000 races, and 2 $200,000 races. So incredible prize money being offered to that meeting in Melbourne today. The Victorian Derby has a history going back to it's one of the longest histories of racing in Australia. The 1855 was the first running of the Victorian Derby. It's 163 years of history. As I said before, the Hotham Handicap, now known as the Lexus, it's also got 93 years of history from 1925. It's a mammoth day in Melbourne today. To mark the occasion, we've got a great day of racing here, right here in Mount Desert. The Mount Desert Race Club Aquis Park track sees a meeting run by the Gold Coast Surf Club for the Mount Desert Race Club today. The gates open at 11 o'clock. The courtesy bus running today for the meeting here at Mount Desert that leaves the town centre and picks up at the showgrounds, the RSL and the Celtic Service Station. The first race is at 1 o'clock, and that's the first local race. Unfortunately, with the dreaded daylight saving, the first big race down south is at 10:45. However, those races today from the southern events will be able to be viewed on all the monitors at the Mount Desert track. It's not a TAB meeting at Mount Desert today, unfortunately, because there's too much activity for the totalisator to cope with what's happening today. And races will be visible on the screen at the Bay Desert Race Club. But if you want an interest in the local races, you have to be at the track to make use of the totalisator facilities there, because it's not being covered by the TAB on a widespread basis. The past week results, because of the abandonment of meetings last Saturday, we haven't had much activity over the past week in terms of Bay Desert runners, but things are back to normal again today, and we've got a lot of travellers we'll have to talk about in a few minutes. But in the meantime, last Saturday, the Gympie visitors didn't do any good, but at Casino, Alan Boyd, I think, used to be a Bay Desert trainer. I think he's training from Willumbar now, so he's probably no longer a Bay Desert trainer, but he ran a second there at Casino last Saturday with Annie Dazzler. Ben Robinson went to Casino also for a minor prize money, fourth place check for Chamberlain, and Kelvin Hickmont also went to Casino last Saturday and ran third with the Ponster. In continuing results at Clifton, the country meeting at Clifton last Saturday, we had visitors from Bay Desert heading up there, and Glenn Baker came a very close third, only 0.2 of a length off the winner, with Sultry Tester. That was in the Clifton Cup last Saturday, and for the last race of the day at Clifton, Harold Bone managed to get into the winner's circle with Red Zabella at the odds of about 13 to 1. That was ridden by local lady jockey Book Ainsworth, and as the only winner for the week, that automatically qualifies Harold Bone as the star for the week. We classify a star performer every week if we can, and Harold Bone certainly gets that recognition for being in the winner's circle there at Clifton last Saturday. The Sunshine Coast last weekend, on Sunday, Gary Hutchison, nice to see Gary back in the results. He got a very good second there with his first starter, Torero. Nice to see that happening again for Gary Hutchison. And at Grafton on Tuesday, Kelvin Hickmont, notorious traveller. Kelvin went down there with Leprechaun Lad and ran second. A very consistent performer, Leprechaun Lad. And there was another travelling experience for Kelvin Hickmont. Nothing coming out of the Toowoomba meeting during the week. And at Ipswich yesterday, Good Cornish managed a minor prize money check with Charlie Cat. And we get down to runners today, and there's a lot of them. After the abandonment of the meetings last week, we're seeing tremendous runners, number of runners coming from Bay Desert to various tracks today. We see Darlene Giray going to Brisbane with Sky 1 and Anatime. We've got James Hepworth also heading to Doomben with Shoreline, and Ben Aaron's going to Brisbane. Been 10 races in Brisbane today, and Ben scored in the last race. He got number 10, chilling with Dylan. So a lot of activity emanating from the Bay Desert training facilities today. It continues at the Gold Coast, where Ben Robinson is taking Shiitake to the coast. Kelvin Hickmont travelling yet again after Casino last Saturday. He's going to the Gold Coast with the Ponster, and James Hepworth also heading to the coast with two for the road. Tracy Green and Greg Cornish will also be in race 4 at the Gold Coast. Greg's only got an emergency runner there, number 18, but may get a run. And Tracy's got Crude Oil, and Greg Cornish has got Oddfellow racing in the Gold Coast today. Greg also had Charlie Cat at the Gold Coast today, but that raced at Ipswich yesterday, so obviously won't race at the coast today. And it continues at Toowoomba tonight with Jeff Hardy, another notorious traveller. Jeff heading up there for the third race with Ignite the Magic. So these runners continue, tremendous number of runners from Bay Desert, even one going to Dalby, non-TAB meeting at Dalby, a bit like Bay Desert today. And in race 3 at Dalby, Laurie Richardson's heading up there with number 6 All One Class. And of course the Bay Desert meeting today, very great support from the Bay Desert Racing stables today. 13 stables represented at this Bay Desert meeting today. Ben Robinson's got 4 runners. Greg Cornish has got half a dozen. And pretty well every other local trainer has got runners at Bay Desert today. And we're seeing visitors coming to the scenic rim, and Bay Desert in particular, from Eagle Farm Farm, Gold Coast, Deagon, Ipswich, Lockyer Valley, that's Gatton, Toowoomba, Warwick, Oakey, and even Rockhampton, all visiting Bow Desert today as a program here at the Aquis Park track at Bow Desert. The first race, as I said, starts at 1 o'clock and the last at 4 o'clock, and that courtesy bus, you can pick up the details of the timetable for that courtesy bus on the Bow Desert Race Club website. The Sunshine Coast tomorrow sees representatives going up there too. Ken Deacon's taking Sayonara Mosa to the Sunshine Coast, while Ben Aarons is also taking King Looper up there tomorrow, and Diane Murphy, not to be outdone, she's taking that consistent performer of hers, the Shani Phoenix, to Sunshine Coast tomorrow. Massive meeting at Ballina. We've got nine runners at Ballina on Monday, going from Bow Desert. Alan Boyd with that Andy Dazzler. Now, I think naming Alan, but I think he's now training from Murwillumbah. Ben Robinson's heading down there with Dashing Ocean. Greg Cornish, Rocky Nugget, Ben Robinson again with Heart of Australia. These are all going to Ballina on Monday. We've got Deborah Ainsworth and Dora Brook heading down there on Monday with Capital City. Greg Cornish again with Rena Ladd, and Diane Murphy taking Wannabe down there too to Ballina. Ben Robinson, Alfie Jr., so people who like to keep in touch with these Bow Desert horses will see James Hepworth also with Hutcho at Gatton. He was due to run at Gatton, Hutcho, the other day, and that last race at Gatton was a Beckenden, so James is taking Hutcho to Ballina on Monday. The Melbourne Cup Day meeting at Murwillumbah sees a number of Bow Desert trainers heading down there with runners. Unfortunately, it's a non-CAD meeting, so you'd have to be at the track to have an interest in these runners, but Greg Cornish, Ben Robinson, and Harold Bone are all heading down there, as is Neil Coy, Kelvin Hickmont, and there's a number of runners. I think there's about 12 runners going to Murwillumbah for that meeting on Melbourne Cup Day on Tuesday. And still the runners continue on Tuesday. There's a big meeting at Doomben on Tuesday, and we've got 13 nominations and acceptances at Doomben for the Tuesday meeting on Melbourne Cup Day. And this prize money is starting to materialise now after the capitulation by the government on the issues that were very contentious regarding the treatment of the point of contact turnover tax. And Darlene Giray is taking a couple in Brisbane. These will all be ones you can watch on Melbourne Cup Day. Jeff Hardy, Ben Aarons, Diane Murphy, Ken Deacon, and Kelvin Hickmont and Robert Lyford are all heading to Doomben with runners from Bow Desert on Melbourne Cup Day. Other runners at the Gold Coast on Melbourne Cup Day, Ben Robinson has got 6 runners, the 7 runners going to the Gold Coast on Melbourne Cup Day, and Ben Aarons is also heading down there on Melbourne Cup Day too. So a lot of Ben's got a couple of runners as well. Ben Aarons and Ben Robinson both at the Gold Coast on Tuesday. The Sunshine Coast on Tuesday, Melbourne Cup meeting, Melbourne Cup Day meeting at the Sunshine Coast to Diane Murphy heading there with Gilded Lion, and Laurie Richardson with Canny Excel, and also Ben Aarons with Macro. So that's a tremendous amount of activity. I just mentioned in passing now the future race dates. Unfortunately, the Sky Channel commentator made reference to the last Bow Desert meeting being the final meeting for the year. That's not correct. We've got 4 more meetings after today. These are dates for the diary. Thursday the 15th of November sees a meeting at the Bow Desert Aquis Park track. On Monday, that's Thursday the 15th of November. On Monday the 26th of November, there's another meeting there. And then in December, we've got a Tuesday meeting on the 4th of December, and on another one on Christmas Eve. That'll be a great day out. Monday the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, there's a meeting at the Bow Desert track. So we've got plenty more happening this year before the conclusion of the racing program. It's pleasing to see the government capitulation on that switch of the share of the this new point of consumption tax back to the industry. Settle things down a lot. That's happening in other states. They're way ahead of us in terms of having accomplished that. And after all the indecision, it's finally happened in Queensland, and it's starting to have an effect on the prize money being paid for race meetings in Queensland. Unfortunately, that hasn't yet had an impact on the country racing programs, particularly the non-TAB meetings like today, but hopefully that will generate additional prize money very quickly now that that decision has been made and the industry has settled down, hopefully to be able to catch up to some extent to the southern states, which have outstripped racing in Queensland considerably over the recent times. Had to go to the track today to have an interest in the local races. The Derby Day theme being promoted by the Gold Coast Turf Club for the Bay Desert Race Club. Those who can't get to the track just have to get the Channel 7 network. We'll be showing all those southern races. I've got to say the local track is looking magnificent at the moment. It's as good as I've ever seen it, and full compliments and recognition there that Rory Henrahan and his team have got that track with help from the Gold Coast Turf Club looking magnificent. It should be a great day's racing there today. Check out the Bay Desert Race Club website for those timetables and bus timetables, and also don't forget this program's Facebook site, which is on facebook.com/racing radio show, which includes a rebroadcast of this program and also a wealth of other information relating to the industry and in particular the Bay Desert Race Club. So we've covered a fair bit of territory there this morning, Robert. That brings us to the end of the day. Hopefully next Saturday we can be talking to you with some good results coming out of all that activity I've just recited.